Here are a few hacks to make retargeting work. First of all, select the right campaign goal. If you do retargeting, select the campaign goal traffic. This may seem counterintuitive because just because you follow up with people, for example, if you deploy a follow-up retargeting campaign, you still want a conversion. Well, with conversions, you're placing a constraint on the algorithm that is not necessary because you're going after a warm audience. This is not a cold traffic campaign. You're re-engaging with an existing audience, people who saw a video of you, who have been on your sales page, on your checkout page. There's no need for a conversion campaign. Go with the campaign goal traffic. You will have more reach. You will see lower CPCs. And again, the main difference here is you're going after a warm audience. You want to go after all website visitors. So if you deploy retargeting campaigns, if you want to follow up with people, don't select the campaign goal conversions, even though that may seem counterintuitive. Go with the campaign goal traffic to reach more people and to pay less for a click and for a conversion. Then test different audiences. Ideally, in the B2C space, last 3, 7, and 30 days. And in the B2B space, you should test on top of that last 60, last 90, and last 180 days. Why? Well, because in the B2B space, the sales cycles are sometimes longer, depends on the niche. That's why you should test, in addition to shorter time frames, those longer time frames. You see that very often that, especially if you're going after large corporations, decision processes can take months or weeks at least. And therefore, you have to follow up with people on Facebook over a longer period of time. However, in the B2C space, after 60 days, no one knows who you are. Therefore, it doesn't make sense to deploy these longer time frames in the B2C space. So keep your retargeting in the B2C space a little bit more recent and reflect in the B2B space longer sales cycles in your retargeting campaigns. And really split test those audiences. You will see that you will get different results depending on whether you have a custom audience of website visitors who visited your website in the last 3, 7, 30, or 60, 90, or 180 days. Manual bidding, huge thing. As we covered in this training, I think it was in chapter 2, there's automatic bidding and manual bidding. Manual bidding works for retargeting campaigns like magic. This is something you have to test. It doesn't work always, but try to go with a really high manual bid. Bid $10 for a link click. Show Facebook that you really want the click, and this will ensure that you will stay at the top of the newsfeed, for example, if you deploy retargeting campaigns. You will never pay $10 for a click, but show Facebook that you really want the click, that a click is really worth to you $10. That's how much you're willing to spend. And then the algorithm will give you those premium placements that you need to have working retargeting campaigns. Retargeting works with automatic bidding as well. However, manual bidding can take your retargeting campaigns to the next level. So go ahead and try to experiment with manual bidding with ultra high manual bids of, let's say, $10 per link click. And when you deploy retargeting campaigns, always be aware of the different funnel stages. If you launch a retargeting campaign to follow up with all Facebook users who visited your landing page but didn't proceed in the funnel, that retargeting campaign is going to be different to a retargeting campaign that goes after all Facebook users who hit who landed on the checkout page but didn't make a purchase, right? If your budget is limited, always try to do retargeting campaigns as deep inside the funnel as possible. For example, doing a retargeting campaign of and going after all of website visitors of your checkout page. Well, obviously those people are more valuable and more likely to purchase than if you go after Facebook users who have been on the landing page only and didn't even proceed to the offer flow page, right? So if your budget is limited, start as deep in the funnel as possible. And one more thing I'd like to mention about doing retargeting campaigns in the sales process. So if you're going after a super qualified target audience, Facebook users who have seen your offer, who clicked on add to cart, who have been on the checkout page but didn't make a purchase. There was just one final step missing. Well, don't send them back to the sales page. I recommend to send them straight to the checkout page. Send them back to the checkout page. There's no need to send them through the entire funnel again. That audience is so warm, they're so qualified that if you deploy that type of retargeting campaign, send them back to the checkout page and you will see an increase in conversion rates. Long story short, each funnel stage needs a different retargeting campaign. Start as deep in the funnel as possible at first, and then move on to the front of the funnel, deploy more retargeting campaigns, especially if you're working with a limited budget.